back to your career at Rice and your evolution there and how you eventually, had a sustained career in the NFL.
I was able to start as a true freshman at Rice, and not really because I was probably the best for the position. Some of the older guys, and this happens a lot in football, guys will get hurt, and then you just kind of take advantage of that opportunity. And that's what would happen. That's what happened my freshman year, training camp. One of the senior guys, he got hurt, was able to earn a starting job. So I really just had a lot of tape, a lot of stats. Um, and like you said, my senior year, uh, I had a grade 3 high ankle sprain, surgery, the whole deal, and I did it, like, 1 game after because I still had a red shirt available, so if I
Mm.
would've got hurt, like, 1 game before, I coulda just used that red shirt, but I didn't, and I got hurt too late, like, 1 game too late, so, I have no idea if I would've got drafted or got signed or whatever. I did have, a lot of tape, so that was what was good, just for being, like, a four-year starter. So that, and I think at that point, I was just like, "Man, if I even get a tryout with a team, like, I'll be happy." I started to have a couple scouts come to practice, and that's when you kinda realize, like, "Oh, shit, like, this might actually be a thing," you know? I didn't go to Rice to I was like a two-star recruit. I went there to get an engineering degree, not to go play football. I didn't That wasn't even, like, on the horizon. Um, and then once you start to kind of, realize, like, "Oh, shit, like, there's actually scouts coming to watch me, like, I must be stacking up well against the other guys at my position in college football." It's always hard to tell, especially in a conference like Rice where you know how you compare amongst your teammates and the guys in your conference because you're seeing all the film, you're seeing them play the same teams and the same guys, but you don't really know how you stack up against like all the big schools. Like how do I compare against like these starting safeties that are all going to go like in the first round, you know? Um, and so I didn't get signed, didn't get drafted, obviously, and then I went and played in the United Football League, which doesn't even exist
I was gonna say,
anymore.
I don't even remember that.
No, it was around for like 3 years. It was just like kinda all these other developmental leagues. Um, 'Cause at the time, it was the best option other than going to Canada.
Mm.
Because if you go to Canada, they have rules on how many Americans they can keep on the roster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, otherwise we would just run them all out. It would just be the next American it would no longer be the CFL.
Oh, dude, I had no idea.
Yeah, so you actually, you can get kinda fucked if you, like, are good enough to make the team, but they have to meet these quota of having a
Huh.
certain amount of Canadians. So and it's also not, it's not normal 11-man football, the field's different, the rules are different. It's a whole different game,
Yeah,
so
what's the deal with the goalpost being, like, in the front of the end
some
zone?
Canadian shit, bro, I don't know. Go ask them, I have no idea. But so the UFL has started in 2009, and they had taken a lot of ex NFL coaches that had, maybe been out of coaching for a year or had just got fired, and then guys like myself that were trying to make it, or guys that had just got released from the NFL. So the talent level was still really high. It was all NFL schemes, NFL coaches. It was in America. So a lot of people that were directly, tied to the NFL. And it was an 8-game season. I was like, this is way, way better than going to Canada. And was lucky enough to get to start there, play well, had an 8-game season. Then all of those coaches, which Dennis Green was my head coach,
Mm.
rest in peace. Dante Culpepper was my quarterback. I got to play
Oh,
a
no
bunch of
way.
like, yeah, like I got to
In
play
the
against
UFL he
in
was.
the UFL. He was,
Wow.
yeah, because we had a bunch of like Minnesota connections, a couple of coaches that had coached in Minnesota before. Um, and was able to play well enough. And then all those coaches, they're like, "We're gonna get you on a roster. Like we're calling all the people that we know, blah blah blah." So was able to get signed out of the UFL in 2010 to the Cowboys. And just like most free agents, they kind of have to find their home. Was there for the last half of the 2010 season. Got cut in training camp the next year. Went to the Jets. Got cut from there. Did a bunch of workouts, trying to get signed, and then eventually signed with Minnesota at the middle of 2011, and then I was there for 9 years. And then just like most guys that play for a long time, their last couple of years they kind of do like these 1-year contracts. Um, and so I was, if you would have told me at the beginning that I would have played 12 years, like the way it started, where I was like fucking moving around everywhere, I was like, shit, I'll just be happy to like make a team one of these times. So was able to squeeze out 12 years. So I feel good about that.